Now, one of the things that we're very good as human beings is that we like to see the faults of other people, their mistakes, their shortcomings, the things that they do that they shouldn't do. But we're not that quick to see those things in our own selves. Now, it's common to man to have this. Every nature, every country, every culture, everyone's like this. All peoples around the world. It's very, very easy to see the faults of others, whilst we deny those same things in us. Yeah? That's part of the fallen nature of man. And it's one of the commandments that Christ gave. So this would be number 14 in the book, The Commandments of Jesus. And it's talking about that we shouldn't judge other people and see their faults when we deny our own or can't see our own. So listen to what Christ said on this. This is Matthew 7, from 1 to 3. He said, "Judge not, that ye be not judged." And that's the first thing people do. They see other people, straight away they judge them. Quick, snap judgments about people, which may not be true at all, but it's their first impressions of that person. And if they are, and that might be prejudice, they might be racist, they might be, oh, I don't like the person, they're fat, they got a big nose, or they're too thin, or they're too short, or all these snap judgments and quick assessments of people. Right? And we're judging them. That's a good person. He's a crook. I can't trust him. Something wrong with him. He's a bit dodgy. Very quick judgments of people. Anyway, this is what Christ said. "Judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, shall you be judged. And with what measure ye mete, it shall be meted to you again. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye?" So, what is a mote? So what Christ is saying here, why are you looking at the small piece of wood, that small little piece of wood that's in somebody's eye, when in your eye there's this big, huge beam in your eye, and you can't even see it, but you see this small little beam in somebody else's eye? Yeah, we're very quick to judge other people, but not very willing to accept that there's faults in us too. Somehow we believe that we are perfect, that we never do anything wrong, that we have no faults whatsoever, that we are just wonderful to live with. But really, you take any wife and ask her about the husband. What is he really like, right? She will say the things, oh, I love him, he's nice, he's kind, he's a loving husband, father. Okay, that's wonderful. Tell me some of his shortcomings, what his faults are. What does he do that really annoy you? And she will come up with a list of stuff. Right? Vice versa is the same thing, the husbands to the wives too. Because when you live with somebody, you see the real them. You get to know the real them. So it's hard to fool the person that you live with every day. It's easy to fool the guy in the street, your neighbor, the people at church, right? People at your club or at the gym. Because you can have a front, you can have a facade, your persona. You have this thing and you're behind it. They can't see the real you, but that pretense thing is like you go to church and you know somebody's really is in some deep, serious troubles. They haven't spoken to you about it directly, but you know for a fact that they're having real hard times, right? And you say, hi, good morning, God bless you, how are you? Oh, yes, I'm wonderful, I'm blessed and highly favored. They're telling you and pretending to you that everything is lovely and rosy in the garden. They have no problems at all in the world, no care at all because everything is perfect, their life is great, they have no problems, all is good. That's a lie, it's not true. It's better to be real, to say, I'm fine actually, but I'm having some troubles in certain areas, but I'm looking to God for grace and strength. Or pray for me. So you don't have to tell the person, oh, I'm going through this trouble or that trouble, I've got this problem. No, you don't have to go into all of that stuff. Right? You didn't come to church to tell all that anyway. You come to church to worship God. So you don't want to deal with all that. You just want to come and worship God and focus upon Him. But because somebody has asked you, right, there's no point getting into a false, fake mode and pretend everything's great. They say, no, no, no. I'm a bit down at the moment, but that's why I'm here today, because I really want to worship God and get some strength from Him. Be real. I'm not feeling too wonderful today, but I know when I enter God's presence and enter into worship, I'm going to feel so much better. Be real. Don't lie and pretend you're so wonderful and spiritual that nothing ever goes wrong in your life, that you don't have a stress or a care in the world. Who are you kidding? Right? Anyway, back to the point. We're not supposed to judge others and not judge ourselves. We're not supposed to see the mote, the small little pieces of wood in someone else's eye, a problem they have, a fault that they have, but this big beam, this big plank of wood, we can't see in our own eye. Right? Why can't we see if it's so big and massive? Because we deny it. We see it and, no, it's just part of my character. That's just how I am. I've always been this way. Yes, but if it's a major fault that you are happy to live with and think it's part of your character, that's how I am, then it's a big beam in your eye, for true. The people that really knows you the most are the ones that live with you. There's a phrase that we have in Jamaica, see me and live with me, two different things. So you will see me in the street, you see me at the church, you see me at the bus stop, you see me at the office, you see me at the gym, you see me different places in town. But when you see me really in my house, that's when you really see me. When you live with me, that's how you see me. Because if you live with somebody, you can't keep up that pretense forever. It's too tiring and exhausting to try to live so fake and have this pretense, this facade. Your real you will come out when you live with somebody. It's one of the great things of marriage, actually, because your wife and husband, your partner, your spouse, they see everything about you. Granted, there are areas where you try to hide sometime maybe, or you keep certain things back and so on. But essentially, your partner who lives with you, day in, day out, every day, they know you. They know you. And so when they point out faults to you, that this isn't good, they don't like that, that's a really good time to see their comments and their feedback as a nice mirror that you can hold up in front of your face and say, really? Is that how I am? Is that how I come across? Do you feel that way when I say that? I don't mean it that way, but is this how you interpret what I say? I didn't realize my tone was so bad. I just said what I said. I didn't know it was going to hurt you like that. I mean, your spouse can give you feedback on things that if you're sensible, you're not going to fight and reject. You're going to think about it. Is it true? Maybe my tone was a bit off. Maybe I should change my tone next time. Or when I did this, I didn't know that it would wind my wife up so much that she would be so angry and like, I had no idea. But now I do, because she's pointed it out. I can stop doing that. So things that's concerning me, I might not see because, I'm seeing your fault and his fault and her fault, not my own faults. But when it comes before me by somebody who loves me, I must be wise enough to listen. Yeah. And the same thing Christ was saying here. Judge not and you will be not judged. The same measure by which you measure somebody, in other words, the same criteria you're going to use to judge somebody, or the same rules or strictness you're going to have with somebody, is the same, it's going to be applied to you. So take the mote, the small little piece of stick out of somebody's eye, stop seeing it rather, and see the big beam that's in your own eye. Very, very important. Very, very important. Because, none of us is perfect. We strive to be perfect, but none of us is perfect. Only Christ himself is perfect. So whilst we are here in the flesh, while we're here on earth in this flesh and blood body, we will make mistakes, we'll do things, we'll say things, and it might upset somebody, they might take it the wrong way, they might be, whatever, right? We can put things right. Take the beam out of our own eye when we acknowledge these things and not pretend or excuse it away or deny it, or the person's a bit, they're too soft, or, they should toughen up. Too sensitive. This is just how I am. No, let's get this good feedback from people who genuinely love us and change and do better. So we become less offensive. We cause less hurt, less damage, less pain to somebody else. Yeah? Let's look at ourselves properly, more so than we look at other people. Because we have one heart and one life. This is what we have to look after. And to make sure we're doing everything as possible according to God's word to do what he says and to be like him, to be like Christ more and more. And if we do that, we will do well. We won't always get it right, but we'll do far, far better. If we're open to receive, the Lord can open our eyes to so many things to improve us and make us better.